Hello everyone and welcome back to Totally Broken Opinions. On today's Totally Broken Opinions, we are doing The Gentleman.
Woo!
Not the movie, the TV show.
Yeah.
Both really strong and really good.
Well, I would arguably say the spin-off is probably better than the original.
No, I really like the movie.
So I don't know. I think the movie's fine, but I think it gets a bit too complicated. And I think it really benefits having a longer series to, flesh out.
Yeah, I also love the concept of just rich people, posh wankers suddenly getting tied up into the underground drug trade.
Yeah, so people who don't know what The Gentleman is about, first of all, this episode will be full spoilers ahead.
Yep, all 8 episodes.
All 8 episodes.
And spoilers for the movie as well, because we may discuss that.
Possibly. I don't remember what happens in the film, if I'm completely honest.
I do. Matthew McConaughey's in it.
Colin Farrell's in it. The Gentleman is the TV show we're talking about at the moment is talking about sort of rival mob or gangster bosses and the drug trades sort of coming up against each other or wanting to sort of take over more land and sort of what happens when people get involved and sort of go behind each other's backs or contradict each other and get in each other's way, I guess.
Yeah, it's briefly sort of mentioned in the movie that there are other people doing it. And now we get to see an insight into one of those other ones.
Yeah, the Glass Dynasty.
Yes.
Which is what the TV show mainly focuses on.
Yeah, they're the drug people, and then you've got the Hornymans, which is Theo James's family, the main guy.
Oh, I never actually knew his surname. I just knew him from the first name.
Yeah, they mention it like once or twice.
Yeah,
I just it's a really posh wanker name.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think let's just go through the whole episode by episode. We're already discussing our initial thoughts, and then at the end we'll say overall how much we actually liked it and anything we would have changed.
I don't think there's anything I would change in this show.
Honestly, I think it's very good.
Yeah, I generally think it's like one of those shows where it just rolls and it's just really easy to watch, and you're like, I can keep going with this. Everyone I've talked to has loved it. Everyone is just like, yeah, no, really good.
Yeah, and it feels really refreshing. I think the the film is kind of similar, and because it's Guy Ritchie style. But having a Guy Ritchie TV show, I know he's done one before.
I think so, yeah.
Back in the 2000, I think it was, because he did a sequel to Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrels.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he did a TV show based on that. So it's the same thing again, funny enough. He was in a TV show based off of the same universe.
Well, he's a gangster, man. He loves his gangsters, his British gangsters.
Yeah. And I would say I love the cinematography. It does feel like it's got the film essence to it, but also good TV show. It's a proper TV show. And then you have sort of the good plot twist at the end, and nothing gets resolved too easy on. And there's like a nice lot of threads. And to be honest, I think it's a very satisfying ending.
Also, all the cast is really good.
Yeah, the cast is very good. Very good acting.
Theo James, the first thing I've ever seen him in live action. Because I immediately went, who's that voice? And then I went, oh shit, it's Hector from Castlevania.
And so Danny was immediately like, yes, I'm going to wank over him. Just like he did Castlevania.
No, there was more the women in the Castlevania.
Fucking hell. Don't need to know what you do on your weekends.
I'm not jacking off to Castlevania characters. There's a limit to what I'll jack off to.
I just don't believe you.
I'll send you a video later.
So, yes, it starts off with Eddie's father. They're both their fathers. The father, the Duke, dying. Or he was back, Eddie is off into war and then he's called back because his father's dying.
Yep.
And Freddie, the older son, is not given the role as Duke because
he was expecting it because he's the oldest and all of the hierarchical nonsense and like family traditions and systemic like dukeships and like the British royal family nonsense where it's like passed down to the firstborn son.
Yeah.
And then he's also the fuck up of the family.
Yeah.
The older brother. And Eddie's just like the one who's got it all together. Didn't want any part of his family, was happy to like get rid of it, like all that inherit. Didn't want it, was just expecting it to go to the older brother. And then twist, it goes to him.
Yeah, and Eddie is completely happy with just being a soldier. He didn't really want any of this.
Yeah, the whole point of this show is that he doesn't want to be a part of the the gangster world, and it slowly drags him in.
Yes. So Eddie inherits.
Did you? Oh, but before we continue, did you at any point think that he would get out of it?
No.
Because I had some small sliver of like, yeah, he's gonna get out. He might get out of it. Because like for like the entirety of like 7 episodes, he's like, I'm getting out. And then the 8th episode, all of it culminates in he finally realizes that he is fucking good at this, and it makes sense.
To be honest, I didn't expect it to end the way it did. I didn't know he would take over.
I assumed that if that was going to be the case, he would at least get put into the position.
No, I thought he would be part of it. Like he would take over a leading role, but I didn't think
he would be. It's a shared
be
partnership, though.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't. Still, I thought he'd be a bit lower down. I thought he'd just be like the muscle behind a lot of things, and maybe a bit of strategy. I didn't see him taking over the whole operation. I know it's partnership.
See, I kind of did, because I think they kind of showed that they were kind of grooming him to be the lead, like the next person, like alongside, because they had such a good dynamic, those two.
I would have expected him more to be the lead in the second series, maybe.
Yeah, Susie, like Susie and Ed, their dynamic was really well done.
Yeah, do you think they slept together at some point? Because there's that Pachin party where they get drunk together and she stays the night.
I don't think they had sex.
And there's a comment, because the other guy said, yeah, what's going on between you two? You seem to get very frisky towards, or get like very, seem very close to each other.
I think there's sexual tension, but I don't think they actually release it. I think that'll be, because I don't, look, I know that everyone's like, yeah, sex sells. I'm always kind of like, yeah, it's a good thing to have, but I kind of like it when they're just friends. No,
don't get me wrong. I agree. I prefer if they were just friends.
I think it's because I'm like, yeah, you can do it's in like I said in Spider-Verse. It's like everyone wants Gwen and Miles to be a couple, and I'm just like, why can't they just be friends?
Thing is, I kind of like the idea of if they did just have a casual hookup, but it wasn't anything more than that. It was just,
oh yeah,
that's just kind of
professional business. Yeah, it's a business relationship.
Yeah,
it's a blow off steam. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's great, but I don't love the obsession that people have. Is like male and female, they can't be equal unless they've slept together. I'm like,
no. I don't agree with that. But yeah, I think just like having that, they had that moment because they got drunk. Not like actually shipping together, but yeah.
Yeah, who knows? I didn't mind it. I think their just dynamic really worked well. She's got style throughout the fucking ages because all of her outfits were just cool.
Yeah.
Like, she had a presence. Also, I was like, who is that? Because I recognized her, and I was like, oh, it's the lady from the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's the main lead of that.
Is she?
One who's she's Barbossa's daughter, or whatever it is that's revealed in that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's the science lady.
Possibly because she got a fringe. The thing is, sometimes women look a lot different when they have fringes.
Yeah, women do be looking different, Dad.
No, noticed before. I was like, I've seen people they have a fringe and like they look nothing the same to me. I don't recognize them.
I'm also pretty sure that movie came out in like 2017, so she's aged like nearly
6 years, 7 years. Fuck yeah, now we're old.
Yeah. So
I swear 2019 was last year.
Who knows?
2019 is always last year.
And that's the last time Marvel was good.
Yeah. Nah. Anyway, so yeah, the movie starts off with sort of Freddy thinking he's going to become Duke, but is in like £8 million worth of debt to some cocaine gangsters,
Scouse drug dealers.
Yeah, which I thought was brilliant. I love that. I love that all the different mobsters in this, like they were all very distinct.
They're all very distinct. They're very distinct in the movie as well, because they all got their. Because you got in the movie, you've got the boxers. In this, you've got like an offset of that boxing sort of start thing, and then you've got like the Scouse, you've got the gypsies, you've got just the Russians, all of these, like the mad psycho Asian lady.
Yeah.
I can't remember what side they were on. But like they were all very distinct and they all had like a presence. Like it felt like an actual group that would operate, not just like, oh yeah, these people are just here to fill the scene, basically. They all had distinct. But yeah, so he's in debt. Nice to see Peter Serafinovich again. Always good to see him.
Yeah.
He always steals the show as the brother of the Christian guy.
Yeah. So the first episode, so Freddy's in debt and Eddie and Susan find a way
to get it.
Yeah, they manage to find a way to get out of it, but he has to dance like a chicken.
And they have to pay up $4 million as well.
Yeah, I pay $4 million as well.
Because it was originally $4 million that he owed.
Yes.
They added interest to make it $8 million.
Which is a lot of interest, to be fair. Even they say that's an unreasonable amount of interest for 4 weeks.
Yeah. And then Freddy goes and gambles it all.
Yeah. With Sticky Pete.
And then Eddie has to go and get the money back as well from that as well. So Freddy fucks up again, and you get to see how to plot, like, how fucking stupid this character is. And then you get culmination of he has to wear a chicken suit and call himself an idiot, and he does not want to do it.
Yeah.
And it has to be videoed. Like, he's happy to do it if it's not videoed, but it has to be videoed. And so then he ends up taking a bunch of cocaine and shotgunning him in the fucking face.
Yeah, did you see that happening?
I kind of suspected. I didn't expect the shotgun.
Yeah.
But they kind of set it up because they do show him with the clay pigeon shooting rifle or whatever it is.
Yeah, but did you really expect him to kill the other guy there and then?
No, I wasn't expecting. I just, as the scene was progressing, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is how it's gonna, like, it's gonna just escalate till he gets blown up.
I was kind of expecting Fred to kill himself. I'm not gonna lie.
That was also another possibility, but I think you don't want to waste that character.
No, I'm glad he didn't, but I was kind of expecting to snort so much cocaine he kills himself. And now it's going to go down that route. But no, obviously, no, it was much more interesting. And then he just walked out with the chicken suit like nothing happened. Still high up.
And then they have a lovely chase sequence in the next episode.
Yeah, so the second film continues on, and they realise that they've killed part of a much bigger mob family, the Gospel.
Yeah, so the highly religious cult, basically.
Yeah, and to be honest, because I don't remember seeing any trailers or anything for this film, I was kind of I didn't know how it was going to work out, and I expected I don't know what's called, the vicar or something, to be the main villain of the show, or the main antagonist. Because it kind of paved its way forward to that, and then you kind of, you realise later on that this is more world building rather than
because we also get introduced to Jin, what's his face from every bad guy ever, like a Mandalorian, Breaking Bad, that guy.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Giancarlo Esposito. I probably butchered him. We get introduced to him.
You're on about Stanley?
Yeah.
Stanley Johnson, yeah.
Stanley Johnson with the T.
To be fair, he's in so many good franchises. He elevates everything.
Well, he's always a bad guy. I want to see him play a good guy.
But he's such a good actor, though. He's such a good bad guy.
He does it really well, but I was like, yeah, that's the bad guy for the show.
Yeah.
I was like, he's so going to be the bad antagonist of this show. Like, when they do, I think whichever episode it is where they're doing the dock one, where they're trying to get the stuff from the dock, and that car pulls up, I'm like, that's the assistant. Because I'm just like, that's the bad guy. The bad guy is pulling all the strings from behind the scenes, because it's that guy. He's always a bad guy. He's a very good bad guy, but I want to see him play a good guy.
I was really hoping everyone for a loop. I was really hoping he wouldn't be, because he is. What I mean. So I was trying to wrap around like any route of this story. I was like, okay, how could he not be the bad guy? At one point, I thought maybe the mother, because she wants to get rid of the cocaine deal, so maybe she hired the women to blow up the van for the weed. Because I was like, that could be a logical route. And then later on, it's kind of revealed that it's not really that. And then I was thinking maybe it's Bobby Glass. Maybe he's seen something and he's trying to work out something from the inside.
Yeah.
No, it was just Stanley Johnson. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I like the mystery, but as soon as you add that guy to the thing, you're like, everyone knows. I think at this point, if they don't make him a bad guy, it's so obvious that he's the bad guy. I think he needs to take on a good guy role, be a main protagonist.
He probably just doesn't want
to. I know he's been typecast and he's good at it, and I'm sure everyone in Hollywood has just gone, that is the man if we want a bad guy. But
yeah,
I would love it if he turned around and just played a good guy. But anyway, enough about him. What happens in episode 2?
So episode 2 is all about trying to sort out the death of, I don't remember the guy's name, but the guy that Freddy kills.
Yeah, sorting out his escape because the Gospel's going to kill. They're basically trying to find an excuse so that they can basically make up a lie that they had a bit of an argument. He ends up accidentally shooting the brother, and then he's now on the run with the money.
Yeah.
Instead of Freddy who killed him. So they're trying to make that up.
Yeah.
And then
What Susie wanted to do, though. Susie wanted to just kill Jethro and then just plead ignorance, basically.
Yeah. Basically set it all up so it looks like Jethro killed the brother, and then kill Jethro in the process and just hide the body, and then they'll never suspect it.
Yeah.
But you see Eddie's good side, like his humanity, trying to keep this innocent kid basically out of it. And so trying to set up the playing field so that he can get away as well, which I liked.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it all falls apart at the end where you get the nice happy ending, and then you're on the boat, you see what's his face, the guy who does the cleanup killing.
Is it Frankie, his name, or something like that?
I think so. I was like, where do I recognize that guy from? And it's in another Guy Ritchie thing. He's in The Covenant, that Jake Gyllenhaal war movie, where the guy drags him back.
Oh, Felix, it's Felix.
Yeah, Felix. And then he's on the boat, and you're like, oh dear.
Yeah, you're
this
like,
isn't gonna end well.
So, later on it's revealed that Susie did that to sort of protect Eddie and Freddy. Do you think Jethro would have likely squealed?
If he got caught, probably. But it depends on how far the gospel would have gone to hunt down what's-his-face. And I mean, in the end, it didn't even matter because they found out the truth anyway, because Susie turns on them in the process.
Yes, yeah, that's true. So we also see Stanley Johnson for the first time, and we learn that he wants to buy Eddie's estate.
Because of the weed.
Yes, but initially he comes in the impression that he just cares about the finer things in life, like nice watches, nice wines.
Yeah, I like the moment where he gets him to buy the wine. Because it's like, we need money. How do I get money? Oh, this guy really likes fine wine, and we've got some bottles of fine wine that, in a pinch, because there's the meeting with the lawyer, and it's like, you could maybe get full value in a couple months, unless you find someone who's willing to pay. And it's like, yeah, I remember that. Use that to resource to get some money.
Yeah, you really can see through the whole show how smart Eddie actually is and how good he is at being a gangster.
Yeah, piecing it all together, like this slots in here, this can come in here. If I do this for this person will do this. Very clever. I like how it also... And then Susie as well. She's also got the same sort of calculating mind. But she's more violent.
Yeah, then we also get to see Bobby and Eddie's first interaction together, Bobby Glass.
Yep, Ray Winston himself.
Yeah, who's apparently held up in Lay Hill Prison, which is actually near where I grew up.
And also a luxury prison, so he's got free reign to do whatever.
Yeah, Lay Hill is actually, in real life, it's like completely open. There is no gates.
Because it's for people who basically had a lot of power.
Yeah.
At least in the show, it's like, he's a gangster, but we can't really control him. He's going to have stakes and all of this, so...
I think in real life, it's just for people they think just not going to escape.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. You gotta have a stake made by that guy.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Like, I would rather do that than having to deal with all the mob boss stuff.
Also, what do you make of the Felix character? Because I think he's quite funny.
I really enjoyed him, because it's just like, he's absolutely drunk out of his mind when you first meet him.
Yeah.
And then he turns her.
Oh, also,
sorry,
stripping. I was going to say, we also forgot to mention that it's the first scene where Eddie kills somebody that we see.
Oh, yeah, the guy in the apartment.
Yeah, and he literally does, and even Susie brings up thinking, this guy killed somebody and didn't care.
Well, this is the first time we've seen him kill someone.
Yeah.
So it's like he's seen some shit in the war. Like,
well, it's revealed.
Exactly what.
It's revealed in the last episode that he basically, when Freddy shot a deer and he couldn't kill it, then Eddie just killed it straight away when he was a child, without even hesitation.
Because like Freddy was trying to prove that he gets the initial weakening shot.
Yeah, but he can't kill it.
He can't kill it once it's injured and he sees it up close. Whereas Eddie is just like, I think it slices his neck or something. I can't remember, because I don't think he kills it with a gun. He just basically slices its neck or something.
Yeah.
And so you can see that he's got that psychopathic tendency to him. I really enjoy his character. Like, I really enjoy Theo James. I haven't seen him much. I've only heard his voice. And because I know he's from like the Divergent series in our upcoming episode where we're like cancelled franchises, and it's like, oh yeah, that guy. I haven't seen him in it, but he really sold himself here. Maybe he should be Bond.
Yeah, maybe. But too honestly, I reckon he could be James Bond. Theo James.
After this, yeah, definitely. Also, we get the. I was just going to say, because the title of this episode is called Tackle Tommy Woohoo, and in the previous episode, it's the text message that gets sent. And then it's like, why did you send that? And it's like, it's really hard to fucking type when you're running from your life.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? So yeah, I really enjoyed that because it's like, why the fuck is this called Tackle Tommy Woohoo?
Also, I like that all the episode names are sort of phrases that happen. No, it's the actual phrases that are said during the show.
And relevant to what happens.
Yeah, to an extent.
Because refined aggression is like, you see how annoyed Eddie gets at the whole situation, and he has a refined aggression to it, even though it's stated. Tackle Tommy Woohoo's, basically, the whole point is to get they get the text message, and they're on the hunt to find out what happened, and they've got to situate it. Where's my weed at is the weed goes missing. Yeah,
so let's talk about the episode now anyway. So yeah, this episode, we get to see the sort of first sights that things aren't going as expected for...
We also get to hang out with Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, he gets completely love-struck by this woman, who's completely obviously gonna do something bad from the get-go.
Oh yeah, but I would have done the same. She's fucking stunning.
My girlfriend said the same thing, funny enough.
She's not wrong.
And, yeah, so he gets completely love-struck. She's obviously using him to get to the van, and... Yeah, she takes the van keys. Someone else takes the van and they drive off. And Jimmy's like, what the fuck? Where the van's gone. Still, the complete whole series doesn't expect it to be her at all.
Nope.
Because he's a fucking idiot.
Yep. But he is also high at the time and then gets taken in by a bunch of hippies after rejecting...
Yeah, that's quite funny, to be honest. He gets found naked in a field. And he's like, what the fuck is he doing there?
Yeah. But yeah, they basically blow up the van.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that when that happened. I was like, why have they blown this up?
I was expecting them to be like peaceful eco people, like anti-drug people. So they like steal.
Yeah, I can expect it to be like another gang who's like trying to steal the weed for their own profits.
Nah, because they didn't give off the vibe. Because I felt more like that. Because she was asking all about their operations and everything, and so I was like, oh, maybe they're like anti-drug hippie type people who are trying to like eradicate, and they just take it upon themselves. Like that's what I thought, because I didn't think about the assistant at that time.
Yeah,
should have realized, but he'd never worn a hat that big. I don't think.
No.
So.
And yeah, so this weed is meant to go to another set of low-level mob gang.
The tattooed ones?
Yeah, the tattooed ones. They seem like completely fucking idiots, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then Susie's like, well, we now owe you a debt. So they say, look, we want this car stolen. So they go to...
The Lamborghini Huracan.
They go to Mercy, I think her name is.
Yep.
And they try to escape out the place. I think that's quite cool. Freddie doing the Russian accent as well was quite funny.
Yeah. Absolutely obnoxious throughout the whole thing.
And then he's like, what the fuck are you doing, you idiot? And of course Freddie gets captured, like the fucking idiot he is.
Yeah, but it's also cool because you get to meet Freddie's wife throughout the thing, and then it's just like, why is she going to be driving the car? And then you get to see her just doing donuts in a fucking Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck? This is... Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Well, so what do you make of all the nicknames in the show?
I don't remember a lot.
So the wife's called Wham Tam.
Is she?
Yeah, the wife's Freddie's wife's called Wham Tam. I think Freddie's called... Fredwood. And Eddie's called Edwina.
I didn't pay attention to nicknames.
It's a bit weird though, because I think they should brought
first time around. I never. Yeah, I got the Fredwood one because it's like you're considered like Freddie, Edward, whatever.
Yeah,
but no, I enjoyed it. But then we get to see after the fuck up, we get to see Eddie just stand there whilst a woman hacksaws a man in the face. Like,
oh yeah, and then Freddie is like completely traumatized by that. Machete, yeah. So yeah, it's revealed that it's actually the people, like the low-level mobsters want to steal it because it's full of cocaine.
Yeah, and they didn't know that, and so they return it back, and then they give them the guy who wanted to steal it as a peace offering, so that they don't have to be involved. And then this woman just fucking machetes a guy in the face.
Yeah,
and then you get to see Susie and Eddie just basically stand there cold-faced, and Freddie losing his shit.
Yeah, and that's the moment I think Freddie really realizes that this life is for Eddie. Like he should be this.
That's good though. What did you? Oh yeah, it's at this episode that because we have Eddie and Freddie's sister who's in the first episode.
Yeah.
Who immediately I was like, oh, I want more of her, and then she gets sidelined and goes to college or whatever, or uni. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then you start seeing the mum and the groundskeeper's relationship start poking through.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't expecting that to have resulted in
No,
the sister.
no, I wasn't expecting either.
But I was just thinking about...
I don't know. I think a lot of the twists and turns in this show, if you expect it or not expecting it, they all work. You can look back on it and go, oh no, that makes sense.
Because I was like, yeah, the mum and the groundskeeper have definitely banged. And then it's just, they start bringing up like, oh yeah, this, how's, the sister? And it's like, oh, okay. And then like a couple episodes later, the sister comes back pregnant and you're like, oh. And then he seems really like happy, but he can't show his happiness for it.
I think in episode 5, that's the one that kind of mainly implies that.
Yeah.
Because that's the horse riding scene.
Yeah, because the, what are they? The tracksuit gang or whatever?
The Travelers.
That's Marvel. Yeah, them. Tracksuit gang is Marvel.
Yeah.
But yeah, the daughter of the main guy or some relation is riding a horse.
Well, let's talk about episode 4 quickly, because I think episode 4 that's quite one of the funniest ones. So it's learnt that Eddie wants out of the business. He wants to find a way to get rid of them, and he finds another estate for them to go to.
Yes.
And
twatty wanker.
Yeah, I think his name is Frank, I believe his name is. Oh no, sorry, no, it's Max. It's Max. Frank is
Max.
So it's revealed that Max's father passed away, and he's now inherited the estate, and he's learned about the weed business, and he wants in. But apparently, his father's being blackmailed. At this point, I initially knew it was Max being blackmailed.
I figured, but I was like, yeah, maybe.
No, I was like straight away. I was like, it's definitely to do with Max, because otherwise he wouldn't care about his father.
Yeah, probably.
And they track down Frank. There's some good fight scenes there, especially with like the chef as well. I thought it was quite funny.
Yep.
And it's just like you just see Freddy and the chef just sat there on the floor.
That's something I wanted to state. I like how this show does the action because it shows you the aftermath. It shows you the aftermath where it's like the bloodied faces and all of the things, and Eddie sitting on the floor with a guy passed out next to him, and then it cuts to them talking about what happened, and then overlaid with what's happening is the violence. Yeah, and I know that's a very simple thing, but I did appreciate like this is an interesting way of showing it.
Yeah, it's a lot. I do like that approach a lot more because it kind of makes you more question of what happened here? Why has that happened?
Yeah, how did we get to this point? And then it's because a lot of the like with Moon Knight, it doesn't show what happened. It just shows you the aftermath.
Yeah, which is a bit annoying.
Which is your complaint with the show. Whereas this shows you that, and then actually shows you what happened to get to that point, and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, if Moon Knight was made this way, Moon Knight would have been a lot better show. It's a Guy Ritchie, honestly. I would
love to see Guy Ritchie do a Marvel movie.
That would be good. What would you give him?
What's gangster in Marvel?
Daredevil, Kingpin.
Yeah, I'd give him Daredevil. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, could work.
Maybe Jessica Jones. That would have been cool.
Yeah, something like that.
Something underground. Maybe Blade. I'd give him a Blade.
Oh, Blade would be a good show.
Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe he will, but I think Marvel's a bit dead at this point.
No, they're trying to claw their way back down.
So Frank's got the blackmail. They track him down, and they manage to get the blackmail. And then he's
a journalist as well. So
so they go back to Max, and they question him about the blackmail. And then we learn what it is.
Oh yeah, because before that we got the Eddie refuses to open the envelope because he refuses to be a part of it and just wants to get it over with.
Yeah, do you think Susie looked at it?
I don't think she got a chance.
I don't know, because there was a comment at the end.
No, but she's surprised as well, because she's also surprised by the revelation of him being a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole thing. It's like, because the guy's basically like, no one wants to ever fucking read the envelopes.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, oh, we just want to hide it, and like, no one ever wants to read what's in it. And then it's like, oh, what's in it? And they go, and then the guy starts showing them around his Holocaust World War II Nazi.
Do you know what's so funny about this, right? Because he's talking. No, but what's even funnier, what I thought was really funny, right? When we were watching this, because I watched it with Meg, he was showing the paintings, and I made it as a joke. He said, "Oh, the machine, my prized possession." I was like, "Oh, I bet it's Hitler's testicle as a joke." It actually was, and I was just pissing myself laughing. I was like, "I can't believe I called it."
I like Eddie's response to like, oh, these paintings, what do you think? They're like really good, right? And he's just like, no, they're shit. Like, oh, come on, dude. You're meant to appreciate these. Like, take away the genocide, and you're like, yeah, these paintings are good. No, they're pretty average, pretty standard. Like,
it's so funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a funny episode. And once again, we had more action sequences similar. Basically, all the action sequences on here, more or less, are...
And a dog eats a testicle.
That was funny.
Where did that dog come from? Because I don't remember the dog.
It was a guard dog, I think.
Okay. But yeah, we get his like assistant going all crazy machine gunning.
Yeah, then they die because Eddie throws a hand grenade at him.
Yeah. I'm surprised he had like live round. Oh well.
Right, and then episode 5 is where the weed tries to go to export to Europe, and they struggle because of apparently Brexit now.
Yep, and the Belgium guy who does the importing to smuggle it is basically like, yeah, because of Brexit, we need to jack up the price by like 1.4 million or whatever it is.
1.5.
Yep.
And Susie says like, look, I'll pay you 1.2, but I'm not paying you anymore. That's just extortion, and we don't do that.
Yeah, and then how does the cousins steal the generators, right?
They do. They steal multiple generators, and Eddie and Jeff catch them.
Yep.
And they say that it's meant for young people at a to keep young people alive.
Well, the travelers like thing to keep. Cause they're travelers and they're poor and whatnot, and
and they give like a heartfelt story, which I think is pretty much a lie. But
well, there are kids in the car.
Yeah, I know there is, but I'm pretty sure the whole story behind it is a lie.
Oh yeah, they're like suffering, but they're not.
But once again, because Eddie Eddie says you can keep
Susie to not fight.
No, but Eddie also lets them. They can keep one, but we need the other.
Yeah.
I think you can see
show
again
a sign of good face.
Yeah, like, Eddie is just a nice guy. Like he does have a good heart.
Yeah, he's not gonna let there's no point trying to get back the other generator because it would just start shit.
Yeah,
they've already got one safe. There's no point trying to fucking hunt down these people to get the other generator back. If he has like a plan in place to get something, he can use them as an ally later. And so he uses that as a sign of good faith when they go and visit them, because it's like, these people are really good at smuggling things across the border. How does this benefit our situation? We don't want to be dealing with the Belgian, so we use these guys to smuggle. And it works out really well for them.
Yeah, and they'll put in the Virgin Mary, which I thought was quite funny.
Oh, yeah, they're just stuffing it full of weed.
Yeah. And then they also reveal that there's been... everything's going well with the travellers now living on Eddie's estate.
I think temporarily.
Temporarily, yeah, for a few days.
As a sign of, a sign of, we'll do this for this long, but we have to stay here, basically.
And then they've made the most money that they've ever made in like a few weeks. They put it into a bowl, and then it gets stolen.
Yeah, which is set up by because Breaking Bad guy has a mole.
Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, has a mole in their operation, so he uses that to steal the money.
I don't think at this point it's revealed that it's Stanley Johnson though.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm just saying.
Who says a mole?
It was Jimmy, right? Jimmy was the mole.
Jimmy wasn't the mole. It was Keith.
Oh yeah, there was the bodyguard things that had been following Susie around, and then there was then Jimmy was also revealed to be a mole accidentally because he was giving it to the girl.
He's just a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember how they thought it was a mole because they went to DeGroote and then
because
that was a good scene.
Eddie threatened. Well, Eddie asks the guy, and the guy has like pride and doesn't want to admit because he's like, you don't trust me, do you? And he's like, you got to prove yourself because it seems like because it's the gypsy, like you're stealing your loan.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you already saw my generators then.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, but we've done a good thing, and it's just like my honor is not going to let me back down from this. Your honor's not going to let you back down this, so we'll just fuck off.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that there's a mole. The mole is Keith. And in that moment, Keith reveals that Jeff Rose murdered or whatever that. So it shakes Eddie's faith in Susie. So he starts plotting around how to get because all this time is Eddie's been trying to back out, so they keep extending the moving out date. Yeah,
and then I think it's also said between Susie and Bobby that they would kill Eddie if he tried to back out.
Yeah,
because as Keith says, they will never let you leave. Like they will just kill you.
Yeah,
and this is when Eddie's kind of thinking, okay, I need to have my own plans now.
Yeah. And then this is also the episode where it's revealed, like you said, that Jeff is the biological father of Eddie's sister.
Yeah.
At the end.
But I really like the poisoning scene of the Groot, where they say, because he orders his
they
food.
just go to the Belgian.
Yeah, they go to the Belgian guy, and then he just starts eating his food, and then they just talk about the poison.
Because I like it because they set it all up. Because it's like they show, this is what this guy does every day or whatever. He goes to this place, eats this thing all the time, and then it pays off in the resolution where it's like, yeah, we've poisoned this. We have a way of getting this poison to you. We know what you... And then they just like, right, tell us who it is. And I don't think he says Johnston, does he? He says someone else.
This is Keith.
Yeah, he's that. Yeah, he reveals Keith. He reveals Keith is
yeah.
the
Oh no, that's it. So they didn't realize that, or who's Keith working for, but they just revealed that
Keith is the mole.
Yeah, or they knew Dooku had to be responsible because he's the only one who would. Or I think it's implied that Keith is just working for Groot.
Yeah,
and it's not really implied that Groot's working for anyone really, other than the Black Band, but there's not really much.
Yeah.
And it's just seen that Keith is working for Groot, and Groot wants to stop them because it stops Groot getting money by hiring these travelers.
Yeah, and he wanted to gouge them for higher prices and all of that.
So that's why it's revealed the motive, which is quite good because it kind of does sugarcoat the idea of Stanley Johnson being behind it.
Yeah,
like you didn't.
I think they didn't need the scene with the van, but they had to set it up so that when the reveal happens later, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. But the thing is, you could have just showed that scene later on anyway. You didn't need to show it there.
Yeah, I don't think they should have showed inside the van. I think they should have showed just the conversation outside, because as soon as I saw the silhouette, I was like, yeah, they're going to do a bit where they lighten up the scene in a flashback, and I was like, yeah, I can already tell who that is. Yeah,
because the thing is, they could have implied that he was talking to Keith.
Yeah.
That would have been better.
Yeah, who knows?
Or just don't have that scene at all because you didn't need it.
Yeah. But yeah, and then they poison him, and then it's basically, oh yeah, we have this antidote, but you got to tell us who. And then then they kill Keith.
Then episode 6, they have all this money now, and then they decided they need to wash it, which is money laundering, so it goes back into their bank.
This is so that Eddie can get out, because he had to hit a certain target, because he basically promised that because the deal with the dad was that he'd triple their profits or something like that.
Yeah.
Before he left, but by the time he left, he'd have set up a system where they'd have tripled their profits or something ridiculous, so that he can leave. And then he's got them a new location. He's got them the money.
There's 2 new locations.
Yeah, 2 new locations, and he's got them the money so that they can leave his property. But then Susie's like, we need to clean the money, and in order to clean the money, we've got to go through Chucky.
Yeah, so Chucky is the mobster they do to do money laundering, and he has a girlfriend that Susie's brother Jack
sleeps with.
They shag in the shower.
Yeah, because it's they've hinted that Susie's brother's like a notorious playboy who just fucks anything.
It seems like a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize this, but throughout the whole series, you can kind of see the relation between siblings, how one is more of a prominent gangster and the other one's a bit of an idiot. You see it through all of it, because you've got Susie and her brother, Eddie and Freddie, and you also have, at the start, the Gospel brothers, because it's the brother that dies, and it's the... So you always have this one sibling that's better as a gangster.
One who's in the normal world, but is tied to it through the other. Yeah,
so you can kind of see it, foreshadowing Eddie becoming a gangster for the whole thing.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's interesting. What else was I going to say?
Oh, yeah, so Chucky, not Chucky, Jack bangs.
Yeah, the girlfriend. But it's also then revealed that Susie basically knew this was going to happen, or kind of was purposely trying to delay the money.
Yeah, she's trying to delay the money. I don't think she purposely knew that Jack was going to shag her.
Yeah, well, she doesn't, I don't think she knew that, but she knew that she was purposely going to, because Eddie wants it done in a couple weeks, whereas it's like 6 months to clean it and all of that. And then because Susie's forced his hand, Eddie's going behind her back with the organizer of the boxing matches.
Yeah.
To launder the money, and it's like 15 million or something like that.
What do you make of Chucky's character? Because he is a character by himself.
Yeah, he's obnoxious and...
It's quite funny.
I think he's just I think the guy who plays it is just like that.
I know, but it's another thing I was saying before, how all the characters have these very distinct personalities.
Yeah.
Even though they're kind of working under the same gangster mob mentality, it's really different.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, no, he's good. He's got that yeah, blood, you got this down.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like he's trying to sell
more like East London talk or North London
he's trying to sell like hot dogs or something.
Corn
like
dogs.
Corn dogs, yeah. Which we don't have here. Which is
no, I think they sell Korean corn dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
it's just like this weird side hustle that they're trying to push. It's like, Eddie, buy this, and it's like, no.
Yeah, then Eddie, he tries to plan multiple routes, so he talks to Henry.
Yeah, the organizer of the boxing, who's got like an accountant who is really, really boring.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Susie says she sorted things out with Chucky and wants.
It would take 6 months or something like that, from like. I think it was like 6 months down to 4 months or something like that. So it was like it was going to be.
She purposely delayed it.
Yeah,
and he was going to give it the money to Chucky, and then Eddie was like, he realized it, and then went fucking batshit crazy and started beating the shit out of Chucky's assistants.
Yeah. Which again shows that he's got like the
and he yeets the corn dog.
Yeah,
as well. Which I thought was funny.
Yeah, and then he goes straight to the other guy to get it cleaned, and then it's the other guy's basically not been a part of any of it, and then he works out that by the amount of money that they've given him, it's like a $1.2 billion property, and he wants in. So he starts rigging Susie's brother's fight.
Yeah. And, got the fight as well. And during that, we see Eddie and Susie have a conversation. And Eddie completely tries... Freddie, tries to...
trying to sell his weed.
Tries to sell his weed and literally sells his brother out. Says, look, something happened to my brother, I would be in complete control of the matter. And then you can stay there and then you can just manage my weed.
And then Susie goes and basically says that, look, my brother in there, I would do anything for him. Maybe you should consider the same.
Yeah. Basically calls him out on his shit.
Yeah.
Because how much Eddie has done for him as well.
Yeah, he's saved him multiple times. And I'm assuming, because also Freddy tells that tale of that time he fell into the river or something and he saved him. And it's just like, I don't remember that, but I remember you telling me that multiple times. So it seems like Freddy's always just been like a lying fuck up.
Yeah, and he just wants to just get his own back from Eddie all the time.
Yeah, because he feels inferior. Like, he's always been inferior to his brother. And as the older brother, you'd feel inferior if your younger brother was better than you, than stuff. And then he's also trying to do his own weed thing where it's like super weed or whatever it is.
Yeah, because it's meant to be infused with cocaine, I think.
Yeah, which they don't want a part of, so I don't think they'd ever sell it. Yeah,
then Henry invites Susie up to the top and basically tells him that I'm taking of your business and now you can either give it to me by hand or I will take it by force. And then she goes...
Did you think the brother was going to win that fight? Because it builds it so that Susie...
It does, doesn't it?
It builds it so that Susie's speech is like, yeah, you can fuck with us, but we always come out on top. And then it ends with the brother being defeated. Like how the
I was expecting the brother to win, if I'm completely honest, but no, it didn't.
Yeah, I like that. I was like, oh shit, that actually is interesting. Like, it's a nice change of pace. Like,
yeah, and normally, then she sees that
she is generally fucking terrified of.
And she looks so upset and so sad, and I think she's just angry with Eddie at that point because it was caused by Eddie giving Henry the money,
but it's also caused by her trying to fuck over Eddie.
And
she realizes that it's also her. Like, she might not admit it, but it is also her fault that this happened. So I think she's reeling with that. And then it's also, they find out where she lives because through Jimmy. And then you then find out that it's Johnson who's playing all the cards. Because Eddie goes to Johnson to basically sell, because he wants to sell the land to him or something to get them out. Because he's done with it, because he's been betrayed by Susie. And then it's revealed, Johnson's been pulling all the strings from behind the scenes and everything like that. Yeah,
and then there's also even more double twist, because it looks like Eddie is now working for Johnston, where he's trying to get the names of the other lords.
Yep.
And he gives...
And they go to that guy's estate, and it's just, like, been taken over by druggies.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking terrified of them, and it's just like... Oh, no, it's fine. They can do whatever. And then the guy is wearing that dressing gown and Freddy's just like, yeah, you don't suit that at all.
The thing is, I was fully expecting Eddie to just beat the shit out of him. Because Eddie could have, to be honest. Eddie's like he knows how to fight.
I think he also knows when and when not to fight. Like, he knows that he can get out of a situation. He will only resort to violence if it's absolutely necessary. Whereas I think he can intimidate people a bit more than what they were able to do.
Yeah.
Which I liked. But I just like how Freddy was just constantly trying to fuck it up by accident.
Yeah, Freddy's just a whole pussy to almost the whole fucking show.
Yeah. I really like that character, though. Like, you're not meant to like him, but he's got a certain charm to him.
But it just works. Like, the whole show works. Yeah. It works for all the angles.
You understand why Ed continues to fight, even though his brother has constantly fucked him over.
Yeah, and then it's also revealed at the end of that Freddy, what he said to Susie, and he feels really guilty about it. And then Eddie's like, "What the fuck? Like, how much have I done for you?"
Yeah, and then it makes Freddy reflect. And then I like I think in the last episode they have that moment where it's like, "Look, I've been a constant fuck up my entire life, and I've never felt like I could do anything." And I wasn't born for this, and I've been trying to do it, but you are made for this. And I think that is the moment that Eddie realizes that he needs to get into the game permanently. And I like how the family is just like, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Because throughout the whole show, it's like, yeah, because the mom at the time is also with the groundskeeper trying to get the estates, because that's how they get the second estate and the third.
I think it's more that they don't want to be under the control of the Glass family.
Oh, yeah. They'd rather be in control of it than... Because they're like... At least Eddie knows... Like, he has a conscience a bit. And they can be in control of it. And like the family just gets together and it's like, yeah. I like how the sister's just like, yeah, I accept that you're just good at this. You've always had this about you.
Yeah, and then also in this episode we see that Susie's trying to go after Henry Collins because of what he did to her brother.
Yeah, she makes the mistake because she's basically pissed because her brother's in the hospital, comatose, and she starts just gunning down the people who were responsible in broad daylight, causing, like, problems.
Yeah.
And, like, then she gets her house location revealed, so she has to go and stay with Eddie and whatnot. Or, like, how did they solve that? She did stay with them, right?
I think she did.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure you're imagining that. I don't remember that happening, and I saw it today.
No, I might be misremembering. I might be confusing with the tracksuit people or whatever, the travelers, where she stays there. But yeah, they find her another place to stay or something. I'm pretty sure.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah, I watched this like a week and a half ago. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen. But yeah, Bobby Glass goes, "What the fuck, Susie? Like, you're not meant for this. You're the angel of life."
Oh yeah, no, because she also reveals to the gospel in the episode.
Yeah, so that's at the end of the episode. So Henry goes in to kill her brother, but she's there waiting for him, and then she kind of lures him into a trap, and then she kind of gets him, like shoots at his knee, but then Henry reveals that it's Stanley Johnson working behind all this, and that Eddie is now trying to sell out the Glass family to Johnston. But
yeah,
Eddie has, at the same time, gone to Bobby Glass and basically said, "This is what's happening, and this is what I plan to do." And then there's this miscommunication because Susie then thinks, "Oh, he's fucking over my family. Well, I'll fuck over his family."
Yeah, so then she calls the gospel. The gospel turns up with a whole bunch of people with shotguns and machine guns. And then...
Bobby Glass goes, "What the fuck did you do, you idiot?"
Yeah. And then it's revealed that after, like, the gospel then gets a phone call from Bobby Glass that he'll make up for it. So the gospel then leaves. And then it's the reveal that Bobby is selling the business. He's getting out. Kind of like in the movie where Matthew McConaughey is trying to sell the business and get out. Yeah. And it kind of ends up with he continues running the business.
Yeah. Although I think Bobby Glass is out. He doesn't actually want to keep running it anymore.
Because it's revealed at the... I think he wants to be out, but he doesn't want the business to go to anyone else. He wants
No.
have
So I think he is out of it. Like, he's out of control now. But it's more that it's now.
But he
just
wants
been passed
Susie
down
to take over, but he's not just going to give it to her. He needs them to prove that, because he likes their dynamic. They've proven that they work well together and they have that drive. But neither one of them, like, she's not willing to fight her dad on what his position is. Yeah. And Eddie isn't willing to accept that he's part of this life. So he gives them the push where it's like, here, I'm selling the business. You've got to go find the candidate who's best worthy of it, who is willing to give me the best number. And I like the fact that he just has pigeons.
Yeah, it's quite funny. The whole thing, he just has pigeons the whole time.
Yeah, messenger pigeon. So he then gives them all a pigeon. And it's like, write the best offer. So he gives it to the Russians, that crazy lady, and Johnston. And then Eddie and Susie basically... I think Eddie decides that he's going to try and go for it, and he's going to offer a high bid, but he knows that he needs Susie's help to get it.
Yeah. And
if
even at
she-
the end of that, it's revealed that they probably wouldn't offer enough anyway.
So then they take down Johnston by revealing like all of his
Tax.
taxes and stuff, so he gets done in. Eddie goes to the crazy lady and says that the Russians got it. So she goes and kills the Russian, and then I can't remember what happens.
And then
to
Henry
her.
goes to kill her.
Yeah.
Because it's revealed Henry does that. And then Henry, as one of the last bidders, gets
Oh, yeah,
killed
'cause
by
he's
Eddie at
also
the
involved.
end.
Yeah. Because I think Susie wants to do it, but she's also like, in a partnership, do you want to do it? And then he just fucking shoots him in the head.
Which I believe is the first time Eddie kills somebody in cold blood. Like, not as defense.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, which kind of solidifies his whole journey of becoming
As
a
being
gangster.
a gangster. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And it ends like that. And honestly, I think it's a very good journey, a very good story about how someone gets brought up into that world.
Wrapped into it all.
Yeah, and it's like Bobby Glasgow and the whole thing is like you were never meant to be a soldier. You were meant to be the one giving the orders.
Yeah, and I generally really enjoyed the show. I was really hoping, because there's a bit at the end where Ray Winston's in prison and he's talking to someone, and I was like, I wonder if it'll be Matthew McConaughey, and then it's revealed to be
Stanley Johnston.
Stanley Johnson.
Is Matthew
he's like,
McConaughey
yeah.
in prison after the end of that first film?
Huh?
Is
No,
Matthew-
I was just expecting, because Matthew McConaughey's character is in the weed business and is part, like, I was expecting it to be revealed that, like, Matthew McConaughey had gone there to go, I'm very disappointed that you didn't accept my offer, like, to buy it.
That would have been good, actually. That would have been good.
That would have been what I was thinking. It was just been like, oh yeah, I'm sorry that you declined my offer. But now it's revealed that it's Stanley Johnson, who also wants to have some stake. So
Although I don't think actually wants to build the weed business. He just wants to
no, he wants the
routes.
distribution and the networking and all of that, and he wants to use it to peddle his cocaine or whatever it is.
His crystal meth he's got.
Yeah, because I like how they carve out that all of these gangsters and stuff have their own things and they don't step on each other's turfs.
Yeah, they say like, it's your own thing. We don't care. Like,
we don't approve of it. We don't think it's a thing, but we let them do what they're doing and we don't step on it.
Yeah.
Like, even though we don't approve, we're not going to step on it because it just causes tension and unnecessary violence.
Yeah.
And I like that they have defined rules.
Just a really well-made show, to be honest.
Yeah, I love it. I'm glad we finally got to talk about it.
Yeah.
And next week is Easter.
We have an Easter special, about things we want to bring back. Well, to be honest now, I want a season 2. Which I think is not confirmed, but will likely get renewed.
It's Netflix's biggest thing. It's been in the top 10 for the entire time that it's been out. I think Avatar: The Last Airbender dropped off immediately.
Yeah.
And loads of other stuff. That Game of Thrones new project, Free Body Problems, on there, and that's just released, and that still hasn't even overtaken The Gentleman. So it's holding on. It's doing really well.
Guy Ritchie makes good shows.
Yeah, he makes good movies as well sometimes.
He's got a new film coming out this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think it's the Ungentlemanly Warfare one.
Yeah, why's it always gentleman with this guy?
Because he likes the gangster, action, violent, super heroic dude men. But yeah, that looks sick as well. That looks really fun. I really hope that movie's good. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, I think it's called.
Well, I will
It's just
watch
Henry
that.
Cavill having fun.
That does sound good, to be fair.
Right, maybe we'll do a review. Anyway, that's our review. See you next time. Like, subscribe, comment, all those things. And goodbye.
Bye.